So last year at this time, we invited Coach Brian Moore to come and share with you about a program that he and Lindsay were implementing into the Jasper High School football team. It was called Adopt-A-Viking. It had two components to it. One was a financial component to help some of the young men who families were having a financial difficulty in providing the necessities for them to be on the football team. And the second piece of it was a mentor program where men could mentor some of the football players that maybe didn't have that person in their life, maybe didn't have a strong male figure, father figure in their life, and just help them along the way, make good decisions, learn how to make good decisions, and so on and so forth. So I always like to, if we can, to follow that up and let you know what the result of you financially investing, and then some people who also were involved in the mentorship program. So Brian's going to come, and we're going to do a little bit about kind of following up on that and let you know how the program went. So go ahead.
Good morning. So a couple of, I guess, numbers and sort of how many kids were mentored. Many of you in this room have been through this program, and I appreciate that very much. We had 30 kids mentored last year, which is amazing, and we had over 60 spirit packs handled financially, taking that piece, and we appreciate that very much. And so last year, I came up and spoke, and I'm telling you, I was as nervous as I've ever been in my life, including all the football games and everything. But it was important. You know, we really, I mentioned this last year that, you know, we have two things in our life, in my opinion. You have goals and you have a purpose, you know. And our goals, obviously, for me, is to win football games and, you know, to provide for my family and, you know, to hopefully drive a nice car and live in a nice house. And that's our goal in life. I mean, that's what we want. But our purpose is to affect people, right? And our purpose is to make them better people, plain and simple. And they don't. As Alan mentioned, a lot of our kids don't have that. They don't have male or female positive role model. It really doesn't matter. It's just about somebody that's consistent, solid, and you see that in their decision making. You know, I have a lot of young coaches. Most of my staff is made up of guys younger than me, which is they're in their 20s. And they'll ask me, why, you know, why does he do that? Or what? I said, because that's all he's known. That's all he's modeled. In a lot of our situations, we're taking 16, 18 years of inconsistency, right? And we're trying to change that in a matter of a high school experience. And that's hard to do. So it's our job, I think, as a community, to ultimately support these kids and to pour into them. And I think that is a missing component in many of the programs that I've been a part of. And so when my wife Lindsay and I got to Eufaula and our boys, we started this program. It was Adopt-A there. It's Adopt-A-Viking here. And this really blew up. For year one, for us to have 60 sponsored is a really big deal. So I didn't want to get up and give my same spiel this year. So I thought, let's go to two families that have really experienced this program as a mentor. And so I'll ask Walker Wilson and Stephen Brown to come up. Their families have taken on the role of a mentor and, you know, really have done a tremendous job. So if they'll come forward, they're going to share with you just for a couple of minutes here, and that's all we're going to do. So I'm not going to take the whole time. Alan's still going to come and preach, and but we asked him to come up here, and Stephen's a little bit nervous, but he's going to be fine right here. All right. So again, they're just going to share their experience with you, because I think a lot of us, it's a little bit nerve-wracking to take on a teenage kid. I mean, so we're trying to give you an experience that lets you see what that looks like, what we're asking, because a lot of people, I think, from year one, were a little bit concerned about how much does this entail, like what am I going to be asked to do, and so I thought it would be good to hear from them and what they experienced from it.
Good morning. The experience that we have seen from him, Jose is his name, and we started out with not knowing him at all with several visits that we took with him. And as time went on, he started opening up, and now I can't get him to be quiet sometimes. He is an awesome kid. He has helped our family. Our kids every day come home saying, "Is Jose coming today? Where is he? What's he doing today?" We text quite often during the school year. We talk on the phone quite a bit. And we've gone as far as this summer. He is working with us at our house, doing odd-end jobs and working and making money. And it's meant the world to him. He has not had that. And it's meant the world to us and our family, because we have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know him and being in his life, and hopefully making a change in his life and guiding him and leading him in the right direction. And I'll stop by saying I challenge each and every one of you to join Adopt-A-Viking and just see what it is like to have that relationship with a young man and being able to help him when needed.
Amen. Good. Good.
Good morning. Who's seen The Blind Side? Everybody? That's not what this is. Okay? That's not what this program is. Although I will admit, at our initial meeting, Coach Moore, he said, "Walker, you got Mike." And I said, "Whew, star quarterback." It's like, no pressure here. I've just got to do the best sports psychology I've ever done in my life. I'm wondering how my years of coaching Little League, my level of sports psychology stops at 10, 11 now. So I was a little bit nervous, to say the least. Lindsay, my wife Lindsay, says I came on a little too hard first meeting. Just trying to get up to speed. I was like, I got to get up to speed real quick. Lindsay said, "You need to calm down." So I calmed down. So what it evolved into for us was a really, really neat relationship where Mike and I text, we talk on a regular basis, especially during the school year, before games. Coach Moore just trying to make sure he had his mind in the right spot before games. We go out to eat. He knew he could call me or text me, or most of all, what these kids want is just to know somebody is there for them. Mm-hmm. Okay, we try to make it a little too hard sometimes and think we've got to do, like I was saying, I got to be the best coaching of my career right here, But it's not like that. They just want to know you're there. Mm-hmm. That's it. Nothing more than that. Now, yes, we did, we would go to dinner. We probably did some back-to-school shopping, stuff like that, is just specific to the relationship with the kid that you have. It can be what you want it to be. It's a very important, these kids, they just need somebody there for them. A lot of us are fortunate here. We don't have to deal with a lot of what some have to deal with. We really, really, really need to raise that number from 30 this year. It needs to be double that this year. This church showed up big last year, showed up real big last year. It's where we got most of the mentors from, but we need to get people aware of it outside of here. We really need those numbers up, because there are a lot of kids that need just somebody there for them. You don't have to be a miracle worker. You don't have to be anything special other than you. So if you feel it in your heart and you think it's something that you want to do, I would say listen to that, do it. Because I was running every excuse in my mind last year. I knew I wanted to the second he told me, the second he talked about it up here. I knew I wanted to be a part of that. But then I start thinking, I've got this. How am I going to do that? It's easy. It honestly is. Honestly is. So I would just challenge you, if you feel it in your spirit that you want to do this, just take a chance. It'll be worth it, I promise. Thanks.
Thank you.
So at this time, we attempted to get the kids here. Mike is actually going to play college football. He's at a prep school right now, so on Sundays they're going at about 1 and training. So they're doing some stuff on the weekend, so he couldn't be here. So we put together a little video, a real short video, and just from the players' perspective. We've heard from our mentors. This is our players' perspective. And again, I think it's something that I hope that people will get involved in. So.
Shopping, out to eat multiple times, just really came in until we went down. More than I can count, really. Just not the football I do, but after football season, just being part of my life, checking on me, make sure I was all right. They just came in and really treated me like a son, and really someone I've ever really had, and just treated me like family. But they always came, show support. Always after the game came, saw me, took pictures, feel like it's fun. I just thank them just for everything they've done financially, physically, emotionally, just everything. They've done so much.
All right, so that should help you kind of get a feel for the impact that it can have on their life. And so here's what I want you to do. We focused this year on the mentorship program. So as both of them said, if at all you're being tugged in your heart, don't dismiss that. Continue to let that process and pray over it. And if that's something that you're being led to do, I would certainly invite you to do that. The financial piece doesn't go away. There's still a lot of kids that cannot afford the $150 to purchase the gear so that they become a part of the team. Many of you have supported that. You've probably been contacted about doing that again. I would encourage you to do that. Some of you may not have participated last year but want to participate this year, and I invite you to do that. You can simply write a check to the church or whatever and put Adopt-A-Viking on it, and we'll funnel it to the right place. That's always a need. But so we focused on the mentorship, and Brian just remembered he was supposed to pray, and so he's coming back up, and he's going to pray for us before we get started.